Go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mrs. Fuchs.
And I'm Mrs. Slazak.
And I'm Miss Vallis.
Welcome to a little preview of 5th grade. We're going to start off with, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what it means to be a 5th grader, a little overview of 5th grade. All right, one of the things is we don't switch classes. We all have our own homeroom, and so that's who you are with, other than going to specials. So you get to be really build some class camaraderie and some bonds with your teachers. Another thing unique to 5th grade is safety patrol. Mr. Carlin typically has you sign up for safety patrol at the end of 4th grade, and you sign up either for morning patrol or lunchtime patrol. This year he'll be handling that. So I can't tell you when you're going to hear from him about it. I can tell you definitely will hear from him about that. A big part of being a 5th grader is that you're now a role model for the school. It comes with a little bit of pressure, all right? Other kids are looking to you to do the right thing. So that's part of being a 5th grader is you need to be a role model, whether on safety patrol, whether walking in the halls, at assemblies. Kids are looking to see that you're doing the right thing so they can copy you. Another thing that might be a little more unique to 5th grade is that you have more tests in 5th grade. You have the regular math assessments just like you had in 4th grade. There are tests in science and social studies. You'll get study guides. You'll have to sign off on study time. And that's something that I think is going to be something that builds on all of your 4th grade work. Chromebooks. Chromebooks are always a big question in 5th grade. The big joy in 5th grade is that you do get your own Chromebook, and it gets to go home with you. Now, a question came up of whether you're going to keep the Chromebook you have now or get a new one in 5th grade. And I have to tell you, I don't know. All right? We have to, just like you, we're waiting for instructions from the tech department about how that's going to be handled. Same thing with curriculum. We don't know yet whether you're going to come back reviewing some 4th grade skills or jumping right into 5th grade skills. Again, that's something we need to wait for the curriculum office to let us know. So just like you're wondering some things, we're wondering some things. But we'll all get answers. We just need to be patient. Another thing that's unique to 5th grade is that we do a little community service in 5th grade where we go to Sage Elder Care. And Ms. Vallis will explain a little bit more about that later on. But that's something also that's unique to 5th grade. 5th grade overall is super fun. For me, I think it's really the best grade there is because you get to do so much. But you need to live up to be 5th graders, okay? All right, I'm going to pass you on to Ms. Vallis, who's going to tell you a little bit about reading and writing.
Hey, rising 5th graders. So in reading and writing, you're going to notice that some of our units look kind of similar to the units that you've done in 4th grade. I always say that in 5th grade, reading and writing is more about stamina, so being able to read longer, and it's also about being able to write longer. So I always say that reading and writing in 5th grade is kind of like reading and writing in 4th grade, but with bigger muscles. We cover so many units. We'll study fiction and nonfiction. We'll start off by analyzing themes, and then we'll go into writing about our reading. We'll do a journalism unit where we take what you learned in 4th grade and kind of build on it. You'll do research reports, and you'll write longer and stronger literary essays. We'll do something called a research-based argument essay, which is super fun because we'll give you like a hot topic and you'll have to like decide where do you fall? How do you feel about this topic? So for instance, should chocolate milk be banned from school cafeterias? And you'll have to look at the research and decide yes or no. Some of you guys were very curious and you were asking about weekly write-longs. So yes, you will be responsible for writing about your reading at least one time a week in all of the 5th grade classes. Somebody else asked how big our libraries were. And you can, between the three of us, our libraries cover anywhere between level M and Z. So we have a wide variety of levels in our libraries. If we don't have something in our library though, we'll just send you to one of the other fifth grade teachers' libraries and you can shop there too. So there's something for everybody in all of our libraries. Somebody asked about writing in fifth grade. So there's a big jump in writing in fifth grade. And somebody was asked, how do I get ready for writing in fifth grade? So I would encourage you, and I think that Mrs. Fuchs and Mrs. Slazak would agree with me, I would encourage you to write as often as you can in the summer. Read books, and then when you're done, write down what you were thinking while you were reading it. What did you notice? What did you notice about your characters? What did you notice about the theme? The best way to get yourself ready for fifth grade writing is to just write. It's like they say with soccer or anything else, practice makes perfect. Okay, I'm going to kick it over. Actually, I'm going to kick it back to Mrs. Slazak, who's going to talk to you about math.
All right. As you may have noticed, being mathematicians, math is one of those subjects that just builds on each other. So when I tell you you're going to add, subtract, multiply, divide, your first thought might be like, wait a minute, I already know how to do that. Well, in fifth grade, we do add, subtract, multiply, and divide, but we do take it up a notch also. We do it with whole numbers, we do it with decimals, we do it with fractions. We just move everything to the next level. We do some PEMDAS, some algebraic equations. There's a lot that gets done in fifth grade math, but if you have a good, strong foundation in math, you're going to be so ready for us, because that's it. You want to be ready for fifth grade math? Know your facts. Be ready to just move right ahead. Some people have asked about reflex math. Sure, there's some use of reflex math in fifth grade. We do some prodigy in fifth grade. We do some other math activities. We'll do math workshops similar to what you did in fourth grade. There are a lot of similarities. Again, just like what Ms. Vallis said, again, I love how she says that you do it with muscle. That really applies for math as well, because now we're taking what we know about whole numbers and we're going into decimals, we're going into fractions, we're just taking it up a notch. All right. There have been a lot of questions about science and social studies, and Mrs. Fuchs is your girl to explain that.
Alrighty, everyone. So one of the things that you should know about science and social studies is that we alternate. So we'll have a unit of social studies, and then we'll alternate to science, and we'll keep going throughout the year. In science, we're going to specifically do a lot more hands-on learning, and we're going to focus on states of matter and the ecosystems, which are made up of plants, energy, and animals. And we'll also study a lot of Earth systems. Social studies, I'm sure a lot of you have heard already that we are going to be taking a trip to BizTown. It's one of the most, I think, favorite, awesome field trips you're going to take in fifth grade. You get to learn a lot and then apply it. So I'm excited for you guys to experience that. That's where you're going to be learning about financial literacy and how you play a role in your community. We'll also be learning about what it means to be a citizen, and then the early part of our nation's history, and then along with that, geography of the world. I know that some of you were interested in how we were going to be working in groups. This is, in science and social studies, it's one of the areas that we might come together as a grade level, but also doing a lot of projects and work in groups also. So you'll get to experience that as well. So now that you've learned a little bit about what you're going to be learning in fifth grade, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the fifth grade expectations as a whole. I know a lot of you are curious about homework. You do have homework that you are asked to have completed nightly, specifically in ELA and math. Occasionally there will be science and social studies homework. You should plan to spend about an hour and a half a night to get that homework done. In regards to classroom responsibilities, there will be classroom jobs that you are responsible for within each of your classrooms. And then in terms of if you have a lesson, if you're a part of ideas, or if you are absent, if there's ever a class that you do miss, you do have to make up that work for the class that you missed, especially within our classrooms, but also if you are at specials, just to check in there too. It also goes for safety patrol. So if there's ever a time that you do have to miss safety patrol, you do have to reach out to your classmates and find a sub. You can't leave those slats hanging. And then in terms of indoor recess, you are expected to be respectful and clean up after yourself. Keep in mind that you do rotate between classrooms, so you may not be in your classroom. So you want to treat those rooms as if they were your own and if that space was your own. So just keep that in mind as we head forward there. And then lastly, and I think most importantly, across the board, we just want you to come ready to learn, have a growth mindset. We just expect that you're going to do your best, and we all are going to get through fifth grade. It's a great year, a lot of learning, and I know it's going to be great. So I'm going to pass it on over to what you all have probably been waiting for, learning about end of year activities. So Miss Dallas, take it away.
Boy, fifth grade is a lot of work, right? But fifth grade is also a lot of fun. So we work hard, but we play hard too. And you'll notice that the end of the year is where usually, typically, all of the fun fifth grade activities fall. So we start off at around March, and in March we'll visit Sage Elder Care. It's one of our field trips that Mrs. Slazak mentioned before. So we'll do a soup drive for them, a low sodium soup drive, and each class gets a chance to visit over at Sage. And I'll tell you, I know it's the teacher's favorite field trip. It's actually the fifth graders' favorite field trip too. It's really nice just to be able to go there and interact with our elderly friends at Sage. So that happens usually in around March. We'll also have something called a multicultural celebration. And a multicultural celebration, it's a project that you'll be working on, and you'll have about a month to work on it. And you'll actually present your project. It's about your culture or your heritage or family tradition that you have. And we'll invite your parents in, and you'll actually get to present all about your culture and heritage to your class and also the parents in your class. So that's a really nice, really fun activity that we do. And that usually is somewhere between March and April. It changes every year. We have so many other field trips. I know we go to the pool. So you'll participate in something called DARE in the spring, where we have a police officer who comes over from the Summit Police Department. He's just going to talk to you about how to make smart choices. And at the end, there's an essay writing contest, and then there's a pool party, and you'll have a DARE graduation. So that's another fun activity that we do. And then we have our big fifth grade social, and that's usually at Crestview. It's a swim and tennis club in New Providence. And we'll go and we'll spend the day there, and you'll play games. The pool will be open, so you'll get a chance to enjoy the pool with your friends again. And then our two big end of the year activities are Memories Through Music, which you guys have seen in previous years, right? When those fifth graders get to take the stage and celebrate all of their hard work and accomplishments at LH. And then on the very last day of school, the entire school will clap you into the building for the last time. So there are so many fun end of the year activities, but there's a little catch. So just like, we work hard and we play hard, it's important for you to know that these are not rights. They're privileges. These are things that we let you do because you spend your whole fifth grade year setting a good example for the younger grades and being a strong, positive role model all throughout our building, whether it's at recess, on the playground, in the cafeteria, lining up outside, in assemblies. So you're going to show us all throughout the year how responsible you are, and we reward you at the end of the year with going on, with being able to participate in all of these activities. It has happened where sometimes activities are taken away from people, And we don't want that to happen. So we're going to encourage you to be the best fifth grader that you can be. It's something that the old middle school principal used to tell our fifth graders. How do you get ready for middle school? By being the best fifth grader you can be. So it's a fun year. There's a lot of learning. Whew, is there a lot of learning? But there's a lot of fun too. And we are all very excited to welcome you.
Can't wait to meet you.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
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 Well,
That's a wrap.